Most of my followers are not going to like what I'm about to say, but let's do it anyway. Let's excuse the entire month of October for Donald Trump. Wait, let me finish. The government shut down on midnight October 1st. For the most part, the whole month, Donald Trump has been overseas. Now, I think, for a couple of weeks he was back in the States, but for the most part, he was overseas dealing with international affairs. So let's excuse the entire month. Let's give it to MAGA. And while people were sitting here furloughed like myself, not having a job, not knowing how I'm going to pay my bills, trying to come up with different scenarios, calling all of my bill collectors saying, hey, can you excuse this loan? Calling up USAA and telling them, can you take the month of October that I owe you and put that on the back end of my loan? So if my car can get paid off in July of 2026, now it has to go and get paid off by August of 2026 because they took this month and put it on the back end of the loan. Telling my light bill people, hey, I understand. Can you take October's bill and double it with December's bill? So give me October and November and take all those bills and put it on December. And doubling up December's bill, still not knowing that when and if I do go back to work, they're going to back pay me so I can pay the light bill. While people like me are out here saying, all right, well, look, I got about $30. Go get some bread and some bologna and I'll put $5 in my tank and then we'll figure out the rest of the month. Mind you, I got 4 children here. They are 18 to 10 and my wife and my other son. And we're still trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills. And not being able to celebrate Halloween with my 10-year-old because we did have enough money to go do some grocery shopping. So when my wife got off of her 9-hour job, she went to go grocery shop and get some food for us. And so he missed out on Halloween. While we were doing that, Donald Trump comes back to the United States on October 31st, roughly somewhere in that time, and he throws a Great Gatsby style party. And the theme of the party was "A Little Party Never Killed Nobody," based on the song that was played in the Great Gatsby movie, the remake that was made a couple of years ago. So while all of his friends and family and associates were there, partying in the glitz and glamour of the Great Gatsby of the 1920s, people like me and you are out here trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills. People like me and you are out here trying to figure out how we're going to feed our children. People like me and you are out here trying to figure out just what the hell is going on with this country. He can tear down the east wing of the White House and then go and try to sue his own government for $250 million to try to rebuild that thing he tore down. Then he goes and gives $40 billion to a country, Venezuela, on top of the $1.5 trillion tax break he gave to his rich friends and associates, and got the audacity to say, we have no money. Not only that, he went out and said that we can't pay food stamp recipients for the month of November, knowing there's a $6 billion contingency plan that they put into the budget back in May. They have an overflow account. They have an emergency fund for the shutdown. The bill back in May said, because of a shutdown, we're going to put this money to the side. They went out and said to states, because the way it works is the states pay the SNAP and then they get reimbursed by the federal government. The federal government sent out letters to states saying, do not send out your funds because we will not reimburse you. Not only that, they went and closed SNAP recipients' benefits cards. So you can't even go online to check your balance. The money that you had on your card for October 31st, you can't even go online to see if you still have it. They have shut down some SNAP benefits EBT cards, but they can have a Great Gatsby themed party in Mar-a-Lago. And the theme is "A Little Party Never Killed Nobody." This is reminiscent. This is so reminiscent of 1929. And if you don't know what 1929 is, go look up the Great Depression, because the rich did not understand what was going on at the bottom of society. All they knew was the stock market was getting better. They were making money. Everything was good on their end, and they didn't see. Now, look, I understand if you're a private person and you're making money, but if you're in government and you don't understand what's going on at the bottom, if you are a general, if you're a commandant of the Marine Corps and you don't understand what's going on with your privates and PFCs, you got a problem. That's what the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps is for. He's the senior enlisted advisor for the commandant. So the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps needs to go down and find out what's going on with the PFCs and privates. You are the commander in chief. You are the president of the United States. And you have many underlings, many underlings under you to go and look at what's going on with the American people that's at the bottom and how you're going to take care of them, because the top is being taken care of. Now, you also have people this month that are going to be concerned with their deductibles and their premiums going up. But you can still say, hey, to hell with all the negotiations. Let's do a nuclear option, blow up the 60 vote majority to get past debate. Let's just go ahead and pass the damn bill so we can move on. To hell with your Medicare, to hell with your premiums, to hell with your benefits, to hell with your copay. Let's make America great again by screwing the American people, by taking you back to 1929. Donald Trump was born in 1947. It's safe to say that his grandparents and parents got to experience not only the 1920s, but the 1930s. And Granddad sat Donald Trump down and said, grandson, I remember parties and lavish hotels and women everywhere. I remember. Granddad told Trump that he remembers the Great Gatsby time, and that's what Donald Trump wants to bring back to America. Then, Donald Trump was born in 1947. He got to experience life in the 1950s. He also got to experience life in the social revolution of the 1960s. And he want to go back to the 1950s. That's why this is going to go longer than most people expect. That's why this is going to go past November, past Thanksgiving. This is why this is going to go past Christmas, past New Year's. And they're going to celebrate again in your face. And if you complain, you're not MAGA enough. If you complain, you're not conservative enough. If you complain, then you have Trump derangement syndrome. So MAGA and other people, if you want to understand why black people have not moved, this is why. We see it. We see it. The poorest of the poor suffered under the Great Depression. Black people really didn't suffer. We suffered. When white people get the cold, black folk get the flu. So we suffered during the Great Depression, but we still had cash on hand because a lot of black people put their money under mattresses. We saved Cadillac because we were able to buy their cars. So, and because black people have been marginalized, and because black people came out in overwhelming majorities to tell you, especially the 92%, to tell you this is going to be bad, America, this is going to be bad. You said, fuck that. I don't want a black woman running this country. I want an old white man to do it. This is what you get. That's why black people are not moving. It's not about us having a meeting. We just know what's coming. And it don't look like it. It looks like I got Trump derangement syndrome. Because I'm spouting conspiracy theories. I need a tinfoil hat. Stock market's doing great. Go back to 1929 and let me know. What do you think?